Hello, boyos.
Hello, boyos.
This is the Loner Gamecast, where we discuss that everything is video games. This week, we're talking about Epic Games buying Fall Guys. We're talking about Nintendo's new Switch model? Maybe? Possibly? Probably? We're talking about Sony PlayStation Store. This Sony's PlayStation Store is ending movie, TV, and other things. And we got other things to talk about as well. I like your hat. It's looking good. It's very poofed up. You look like you have a double head.
I have a double head, actually. This is where I keep my second head.
Oh.
On top of the first one.
You're like Johnny Knoxville in Men in Black 2.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
He's like the little side head thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the bad. He's like the bad guy in that movie. My name is Jake. That over there with the double head. You can call him Johnny, but his name is Nick.
I will not respond to Johnny, but you can call me that.
Yo, Knoxville. Yeah, you actually look like Ashton Kutcher with the trucker hat. Actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa, you're all punked, man!
Whoa, bro, dude, where's my car?
We're gonna run over this dude's foot, but it's all just a joke.
Sweet. What does mine say? Wait,
dude,
that's not Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
It was either Ashton Kutcher or Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves.
It's the same fucking movie. We gotta get one straight. That's the same fucking movie. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Dude, Where's My Car is the same fucking movie.
They are very similar. Yeah, that's true because like even in Dude, Where's My Car, it's like aliens come down and like the aliens took the car. Where Bill and Ted's is like a time travel movie about aliens and stuff. Yeah,
and then it has all the same beats, and at the end it ends pretty much the same way, where everything is like back to normal, and their bullies are like dealt with, and they have like hot girlfriends or whatever. Yeah,
it's true. And then Wayne's World, same thing, same movie.
But there's no like craziness that happens. There's no time travel or aliens. It's just they put on a rock show.
That's the second one, right?
Oh, it could be.
I can't remember the first one.
I don't remember him.
I just remember Mike Myers saying, "What do you think I am? Some sort of Gola bull?" Or whatever he does. That's it.
That was a pretty good Mike Myers right into the camera. Oh.
Yeah. That's what he does. What you been playing, Nick?
I seriously thought you were gonna do like a Spy Who Shagged Me, an Austin Powers impression as your Mike Myers. And I'm like, wait, we're not even talking about that. Same movie though. Same movie.
Yeah, they're all Mike Myers movies are the same
Wayne's
movie.
World and Austin Powers are the same exact movie.
And Shrek. Same movie. Here's a controversial statement. I think every movie is the same movie. Anyway, what you been playing, Nick?
Well, you know what I've been playing, so I won't even say it.
Oh, okay. Let's move on then.
You can tell me what you've been playing, because it's the same thing I've been playing, my guy.
Well, you've been playing a lot more of it than I.
That's true.
I actually didn't play it until literally last night, and I haven't played like dick else besides this. We've been playing. We jump back into the Division 2. You probably have more to say about it than me, though. So that's
I was thinking about what I would say about this game, but it's the fucking Division 2. It's third-person Destiny with 4 people and more shit to do, and they're not taking anything out of it. So it's in my opinion, it is better Destiny, where you don't have to pay as much for cosmetic. You don't have to pay anything for cosmetics unless you absolutely want to rep the field medic guy and wear his clothes. But if you don't really give a shit about what clothes you wear, you find them all and you're like, I guess a t-shirt and jeans will work. or a long sleeve shirt and black jeans will work fine too. But yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a really good game to play with your homies.
It is.
I enjoy it.
I agree. I think people are sleeping on The Division. We've played a lot of it before, so like this is not my first time playing The Division 2. I wouldn't say it's like better.
However,
yeah, go ahead.
It is the first time you've beaten The Division 2.
That's true, kind of. It seems like I had beaten it. I just hadn't gotten to level 30.
Well, that's the only way you can beat it.
I guess, but I finished all the main stories beforehand, so.
Well, yeah, you just had the one last thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't say that it's like better than Destiny per se. It's better in some aspects. Like you said, the content is the big thing, where like this game just has loads and loads and loads of content. I think the gameplay is better in Destiny. Like it just feels better. There's a lot of things in The Division 2 where I'm just like, why is this button? And why am I sticking to this wall? And like, why am I like taking cover here? And then all of a sudden behind me, a door opens and 20 dudes walk out of it. Like there's so much of that shit in this game. And not to mention that The Division 2 kind of looks poo-poo. It kind of looks poo-poo. It's kind of like not a very pretty game. It doesn't...
I completely disagree with that.
It doesn't look bad. I don't think it looks like bad, but like compared to Destiny, which is just a breathtaking game.
No, I completely disagree with that wholeheartedly. I think it looks fantastic for how much is in the game. And you look at Destiny and you see, yeah, it looks good. Like the textures look good, the colors look good, but then you go to The Division and there is so much more just variation of levels, of textures, of everything.
I think the game is very gray and brown. It's got a lot of pop-in textures. Everyone's eyes are dead. It's sort of pixely, like, and it looks, I don't know, it looks bad. The animations are pretty rough. Jeff.
Oh, the characters are pretty rough. I think the
landscapes are kind of boring too, but they work well for the game. I'm not trying to shit on The Division. I'm not. I think the fact that there's so much content there is like huge. And I was thinking about it too. Like the fact that the guys who made The Division are making a Star Wars game, like I kind of, now that I'm playing The Division again, I'm like, I fuck with that. Like
I fuck with that too. Like yeah,
just fuck with that, man.
Put a fucking Star Wars skin on The Division.
Let me get this straight. I fucking hate Ubisoft, but like, if you're gonna make a game like this, these are the dudes to do it. I think. Like, I kind of fuck with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't even realize. Like, I totally spaced on that thought because we covered that story a while ago, and then you just brought it up, and I'm like, fuck, man. That would be perfect. That would fit so perfectly in this world that they have, you know? Well, not the world, but in the engine and the tools that they have to work with. It would be perfect.
Yeah. Oh, I was jokingly gonna bring up factions this week just because we always do that and it's funny to bring it up. But like I actually do want to bring it up in all seriousness because last week Neil Druckmann, or as you know the internet likes to call him, Neil Cuckman. I'm sorry, Neil. I love you. I don't mean that.
But I mean it. I'll take those words. Nick means it, but you should come on the show and do a deep dive with me anytime, Neil. Hit me up. I'll be a cuck for you, baby. But Neil Druckmann, he made a little Twitter post this week and was like, hey, we've got a lot to say, but we can't say anything, but there's a lot to say. And it got me thinking while playing The Division 2. This all comes back to The Division 2. Is like, what if factions isn't like the factions we got in The Last of Us, but it's like The Division,
but The Last of Us. So like the gameplay of The Last of Us, but you're like roaming around a big open world with your buds. Well, like you're like scavenging for scraps and bullets and stuff, but it's like the Division 2 sort of games of service. And I know games of service has like a negative connotation connected to it these days, but like I can't fuck with it, dude.
You know, I would have said balderdash to everything that you've been saying, except for the fact that they added that one like open world section of Seattle in The Last of Us 2.
That's true. Yeah.
And it's like, man, it would be, you know.
Well, not only that, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy was an open world like that as well too.
Was it really?
It was. Yeah.
Well, maybe that's them like, you know, dipping their toes in and like, let's see if people like this. Let's see if we can make this something. Let's see. And then maybe, you know, they'll have like the multiplayer aspect of factions, but then they'll also have like Division, where it's just an open world where you can explore with your buds or alone. You can run into people in like dark zones or, you know, infected areas and shoot other players who are also squatted up. Or you can go into like the multiplayer aspect of it, or the competitive aspect of it, and just play good old fashioned factions from like the first game. Like even if they ported, like up-resed and ported and brought in some of those new systems into old factions, I would still play it, even if it was all the same, just with the new systems.
That's
no
true.
New maps,
like
no new weapons. Like I don't care. Just give me that.
That's true. I don't want factions to like lose that mode because I like that. I like the PvP of factions, which oddly the Division doesn't have any like PvP besides that Dark Zone area.
No, it does.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
It's got a 4v4 PvP.
I've never done that. I don't even know where to find that.
They added it after I stopped playing the first time, after we stopped playing.
Oh, okay.
And I haven't had a chance to try it yet because we haven't had a full squad of 4. So now that people are jumping up, maybe we can give it a shot. Maybe. I don't know if the community's dead or not. It doesn't seem like it because it's pretty... The subreddit's pretty lively.
Poppin'. Yeah.
But
I also think the fact that it was like $13 recently helped a lot.
Well, it was $8 not too long ago.
Oh, it was that
like
what it was?
Last week. It might still be $8, $9.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the week before the week before the sale, it was $13. So like it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Lots of sales. It kind of makes me. They also had a sale for the DLC last week, or for a couple of days, or something like that. And I really wish that I jumped on it. Because
is it not on sale anymore?
No, it's $30, and it was $8, and I'm like, maybe. Nah, I'll just play through it again with the mates because they haven't, and once it goes on sale, I'll pick it up again if I really want to. But, yeah, it looks really good.
Speaking of Twitter and video game news, this isn't so much video game news, but like a meme's been going around online of like, this is all the games that Grand Theft Auto or that Rockstar made from like 2001 to 2005 or something like that. And it was Grand Theft Auto 3, GTA Vice City, GTA San Andreas, and Red Dead Revolver, or maybe it was Redemption. It was probably Revolver.
Revolver sounds like.
Yeah. And then they're like, and then here is Rockstar from 2013 to 2021. And it's just 4 pictures of Grand Theft Auto 5. And,
but also Red Dead Redemption 2 is in there too, right?
Yeah, technically that's true. Technically that is true. But like, still, the point remains, we got like fucking 4 Grand Theft Auto games in the time that we've had this one Grand Theft Auto game, and I'll give them the fact that it takes a lot longer to make a game. They worked on Red Dead Redemption 2. GTA Online is the most profitable piece of media ever. So I understand them milking the fuck out of that, and also maybe being a little trepidatious and maybe a bit scared of, fuck, how do we top that? You know what I mean?
It could be, yeah.
Like, how do we make another game of the same quality? And like,
I can almost guarantee that if they just put out GTA 6, it'll top it. It'll sell like hotcakes. Or GTA Online 2, 2.0. It would sell. It doesn't matter what they put out as long as it has the Grand Theft Auto in it, and it would outperform, I think, even with everything that's going on right now.
My thought process on what they should do with GTA 6 is they should release GTA 6 like a standalone game. Maybe bring it back to the 80s or something and do a Vice City thing. And maybe you leave the online connected to GTA 6, like the same online, but you add an airport, and you get on the airport and it loads in a totally different map. Like you go to LA now, or you go to like New York now or something. So then it's like another massive map, and you can go back and forth between the GTA 5 map and the GTA 6 map, and they're like interconnected.
Oh, I kind of like that.
I think that'd be sick as fuck.
That would be sick.
Because like, why get rid of GTA 5's map? Like why get rid of it? It's so successful, people love it. So why upset the people who love GTA 5? And let's just give them more. Yeah. I think that's a
great idea, because
that's
then
the move.
You up res and you like bring it over to the PlayStation 5, the new generation of consoles and PCs. You up res it. Better connectivity, better load times, better all that shit, and then you work on that, and then you have a whole separate project where it's a different map and they're connected, and you can bring your character over and all the money and all the vehicles and whatnot. That's a good idea. You should work for Rockstar. They should hire you.
Every video game company should hire me.
Everybody hire this man.
Everybody do it. But the other thing that I want to point out as well is that who owns, it's Take-Two, right? Take-Two Interactive, right? They own Rockstar.
Yes.
And I think
Take-Two.
I think it's Take-Two.
Take-Two. You're right. It's Take-Two.
Take-Two Interactive. Yeah. And they released a thing a few months ago, saying that they have like 93 games that they're going to be releasing in the next 5 years or something like that. And that's an absurd amount of games. But so I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that maybe even starting this year, we'll start seeing some like Grand Theft Auto remasters, like ground up remasters, especially like that. And like, I used to say that as like, oh, please God, like, give it to me, like, give me a ground-up remake of San Andreas. I really don't think it's, like, out of the realm of possibility that we will actually see that. Right. Maybe not this year. I think they'll probably start with GTA 3, right? And then over the next few years, they'll release, like, Vice City and San Andreas.
You think that they'd start up from the beginning? Do you think they'd just start over? Or do you think they'd go with the most popular first? Because I have a feeling they would go with San Andreas first, and then Vice City, and then maybe 3.
I think you start with 3. Yeah, I really do. Because the way you say it, like if you start with San Andreas, that could lead to diminishing returns for the games. Start with GTA 3, everyone's like, oh, a remastered Grand Theft Auto game from like the heyday. And then Vice City comes out and it's like, I loved this game so much more than GTA 3. And then San Andreas comes out and you're like, I'm buying this one too. But if San Andreas comes out, you're like, I'm not going to buy GTA 3. I already have San Andreas.
Yeah, if it was a complete remake, maybe they could do it the other way. But if they're just remastering it and making it,
I think they will be ground up remakes though. Like I think they, in the vein of Resident Evil 2. Like I really think that's their move. Is like we're gonna remake these games ground up, make them play better, make them play more like GTA 5, probably better, hopefully better than GTA 5 because that game's dated now. But like I think that's the move, and I'm like super into it, bro. Like I kind of fuck with it.
I wasn't a huge fan of 3, and Vice City had me for a little bit, and then there was a forklift mission, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. So I kind of stopped in the middle of Vice City.
That was San Andreas that had the forklift mission.
The San Andreas had one too. Yeah, but there was something where you had to get a forklift. You had to help out this worker, but there was a time limit, and I could never get the time limit because my dumb kid brain couldn't figure it out, or was taking a wrong turn, or I don't remember what it was. But I'm like, I hate this game. I hate this game. But I loved it, and it was good, and the style and the music and everything was really great. But then later on, San Andreas came out, and I'm like, this is the game. This is the Grand Theft Auto for me.
I never played GTA 3. I was a young lad when that came out. I was a young lad when all 3 of these games came out, actually. But yeah, Vice City though was my first GTA game, and I remember that game just absolutely blowing my fucking mind, and like being like 7-year-olds, being a 7-year-old and like picking up hookers and shit, like
and then shooting them right after.
It's fucking hilarious thinking back on that. But like I want them to remake these games so like the 7-year-olds today can pick up some hookers and kill them after they sleep with them. And they have to add the full sex scene. Like they can't just have the car rocking or whatever. You got to be able to see like the steam come up, and the handprint on the car on the window glass. Yeah, but San Andreas was, and like I feel like they have never topped San Andreas personally, as far as just like story and innovation goes. Because like
characters and. Yeah, just overall like storyboard. I feel like San Andreas had the best thought out process.
Well, and also just like the ambition of it, and like some of it like didn't land, but like the way they were going about it, I'm surprised they never went this route more so in future games. They kind of have with GTA 5, especially in online, but like just the fact that every stat was like like everything you did in the world contributed to some sort of stat. Like even how fat you were, was the only way you could change your weight in the game was to like just eat a bunch of Cluckenbell, and then if you wanted to get buff, you had to work out. And I know a lot of people thought that was tedious, but like even driving a lot made you better at driving, and like all that stuff was cool. And then there was what I loved the most about San Andreas were the turf wars. I fucking loved that turf wars stuff, dude. That stuff was so cool, and I feel like they have not done it as well in the future games, because they've touched on the turf war stuff, but not to the degree, and you never felt as connected to like Grove Street, in any of the other games. Granted, like GTA 5 is much more of like a character. It's not so much about gangs. It's about like, these characters, but like.
But so is GTA San Andreas, because you get OG Loke who goes to jail, and then he gets out of jail, and then you got the big guy. I forget his name.
Big Smoke.
Big Smoke. Thank you. Yeah, you get Big Smoke. Can I get a number 9? A number 9 large. And then
a number 9 extra dip.
Extra dip. Yeah, I love like the characters in that were just so like they were a family, but then you have GTA 5 where it's like you have 3 separate characters and they all hate each other. And it's very like Breaking Bad almost. They work together, but they hate each other. And I get at the time that was like the thing to do, but I really want to go back to like a family where people respect each other and care about each other.
GTA 5 is like Breaking Bad. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah, because you got the young guy who doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then you got like the older mentor guy, but he's fucked up too. And then he's even more fucked up friend from the past. Yeah,
that's true. Because like Franklin is sort of like Jesse, and like you really sympathize with Franklin, and then Michael is sort of like Walter, where it's like I kind of like I like Michael, but also this guy's a fucking scumbag. And then there's Trevor, who's like Saul. He's like he is like the whole drug trade. He's just the chaos that like a drug trade kind of ensues, you know. I guess
he's that tornado that kind of comes through and wrecks everybody's plans because he's the crazy one and he's got beef. GTA 6, such a good game, dude. That's such a good game.
It is a solid game. GTA 5 story is hella underrated, dude. When are we getting that DLC?
Wait, can I want to put this on the record and say GTA 5 story is much better than Red Dead Redemption 2 story. Fight me.
I agree with that.
Fight me.
But I got a plan.
Arthur, come with me. We're gonna go to Cancun. I forget where he's going. Tahiti. That's where he's going. I got a plan. Just one more heist, Arthur.
When do you think GTA 6 is gonna come out though? When do you think?
Next. Oh, and come out? Ooh, announced next year. 2022. I'm calling it now. 2022. It'll come out February 22nd of 2022. How about that? Maybe they'll announce it this year at E3. No,
you think the game's coming out next year?
That doesn't give them enough time.
No.
It would have to be like 6/6/22. It'd have to be something clever, you know?
I think that we're going to get a major overhaul of Grand Theft Auto Online for the PS5.
Yep.
And they're going to bankroll that for a while. I think we're actually going to get one of those remasters this year. That's my guess. So we'll get one this year.
They haven't even announced anything, and it's already March.
It's only March.
It's already March.
It's the third month of the year.
That's already, well, it's almost a fourth of the year already. Come on, yeah.
I think they announce it around that E3 time, and they can release it in like, you know, October or something, and then they can release one this year, one next year, and then one the following year, and then the year after that you get GTA 6. So I don't think we're getting GTA 6 until fucking 2024, 2025.
But with the online, what do you think that online that you say is going to be, that overhaul for the GTA Online? Because it's got to be pretty soon, right? Because people, like I understand people are still playing it, and a lot of people are still playing it, but I feel like it's just so dated at this point that they really need to put that out ASAP.
Yeah, I think they will. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they have some sort of like conference or something. I don't, you know, Rockstar isn't really known for having like conferences per se, but like doing some sort of something where they announce both a huge GTA Online update and like Grand Theft Auto 3 remastered. You know what I mean? Like, I would not be surprised. But you know, they could release it like, hey, we've got the Holy Trinity remaster game, and it's like GTA 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and San Andreas all like comes out together in one package, and we get that next year, and then the year after that we get GTA 6. I don't know.
That's a lot of game for a $70 price tag.
That is a lot of game, but also I think they know that'd make them a lot of money.
It would, because I'd buy that. I'd buy that.
Dude, I think everybody would buy that.
Yeah.
If Crash can do it, you know, like.
Yeah, it revitalized Crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they released all three of them. Spyro. I know we're talking about PS2 games versus PS1 games, but like, you know.
Let's
Who knows?
bring back the PS2, man. It's been three generations.
It's time. It's time for the nostalgia to kick in for the PS2, I think.
Yeah, I want Gun back. Give me Gun.
Give me Black, dude.
Black.
Give me Black.
Bring me back games where their titles were one word. Gun. Black. I was gonna say Nightfire, but that's 007 Nightfire. Other things. Resistance. I got nothing.
Call of Duty?
Call of Duty 4. Modern Warfare. No, that's still too late.
Well,
Freedom Fighters. Bring back Freedom Fighters.
Bring back Freedom Fighters. Give me a ground-up remake of the original Battlefront 2. Come on now. Let's do it.
We could get it. We could fucking get it.
I don't think so.
But we could also get a upgraded, up-resed pod racer. That's what I want, baby. I want the guys who made Wipeout HD, the Wipeout collection, to make a pod racer game.
I don't think that's... Even if they're just like, hey, Nintendo, instead of making F-Zero, how about you make it pod racer?
Right?
They're like, oh, we've already been working on F-Zero. We'll just reskin it.
We'll just reskin it with the pods. Yeah.
Sure. All right, let's get into the news. Epic Games. Okay.
Hold on. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Let's say reverse that. Reverse that. Yeah. Say it again from the top.
Let's get into the news.
Okay. That was so important. That was so important we had to reverse time.
Epic Games is buying Fall Guys creator Mediatonic. This comes from Nick Stat at The Verge. Fortnite creator Epic Games is acquiring video game studio Mediatonic, the maker of smash hit Fall Guys, for an undisclosed sum. The company's announced on Tuesday. The deal makes one of Epic's higher profile acquisitions of late, following its 2019 purchase of social video app House Party and Rocket League developer Psyonix. So that was kind of like one of the bigger pieces of news. Everyone's sort of like, oh, that kind of sucks.
It does kind of suck. The thing in the story that I don't know if they had it in the article, are these people keeping their jobs?
I'd imagine so, yeah.
The Mediatonic guys? Because then that's great. That's fucking incredible for them. You know?
Yeah. I guess it really depends. I think it takes a lot of freedom away from, because like I'm sure they had every intention to move on and make another game, but to me, the fact that they bought Mediatonic means that they're going to be pushing out Fall Guys content for the rest of time, much like Psyonix has made nothing but Rocket League content for the rest of time.
Right.
Which is fine, because I like both of those games. It's just, you know.
Yeah, it's because they were gonna do content for Fall Guys anyway. Like in interviews that I saw of Mediatonic, they're like, yeah, we just kind of put out this game and we want to keep putting out content for it, and we don't see anything else that we're gonna be doing.
I think the bigger problem is people just don't want to support Epic. You know, I get it, but honestly, Epic's pretty alright. You say that. You look at me like that, but they have Fortnite, and everybody fucking loves Fortnite. They got, what else you got? Rocket League. I like Rocket League. They're constantly putting out content for these things. House Party, I don't know what that is. Which is a social House Party and Rocket League developer Psyonix. And it's a social video app, is House Party.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know anything about that. But you look at those two things, at least, and you're like, there's content there, and people like the stuff that they're doing, so they're just going to keep pumping out content for it. It doesn't seem like Epic Games really looks for companies to build new IPs. They just kind of take companies to make those games as a service. Epic seems to be that kind of games as a service sort of thing where they have a really good idea, they buy that idea, and then they just keep building on that idea. And I've said it in private before, where Fortnite is just a better fucking Super Smash Bros. Because they've been able to get every character from every franchise. It doesn't matter what character it is. Nobody is untouchable from Fortnite. And they just keep putting out content, changing the world, changing everything. They've had freaking online concerts, online movie showings. Like it is a good community, you know. I feel like they support the community for their games a lot better than, say, BioWare.
I think EA. one of the bigger issues. Okay, I have a lot to say about why I dislike Epic Games. Sure, they've got some okay games. Fortnite, though, is, you know, it's annoying. Okay, first of all, Fortnite's annoying. Okay, I'm over it. Okay, I'm over it. Okay.
Oh yeah.
The other issue is
that's an opinion.
Yeah, but I'm over it. Okay.
Okay.
The Epic Store is kind of trash.
But again, an opinion.
Is it though? Because I have a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons why the Epic Store sucks. For one, they are obsessed with exclusivity deals, just like, and they suck. They suck. They absolutely suck.
Okay.
It just sucks. This was never an issue before. Now it's just like, I don't want to deal with your fucking exclusivity deals, Epic. Okay, fuck you.
Well, the thing. I can I defend this one before you go on to your next point?
Sure, you're gonna say PlayStation does the same shit.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
You're fucking wrong. Fuck you, buddy.
Okay,
all right.
Okay, bud.
Stop
okay,
trying
pal.
to read my mind. I love you. All right.
All right.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
Okay.
to. Okay. It's okay. What were we talking? They had to do the exclusivity thing. I get that they don't have to now, but early on, getting those exclusives was super important, because how are you going to pull people away from Steam? How are you going to pull people away from whatever the fuck, you know, service they have to come to your service? It's almost impossible, because people have those Steam libraries that are millions of games long, and the Epic Store, when I had it, I had 3 games. I had Paragon, Fortnite, and something else that they made. I don't remember. And it was like, man, they don't have anything. But once they started getting those exclusive rights, it's like, well, I guess I have to do the Epic stuff. And then it kind of like shifts I don't know if dichotomy is the word, but it shifts the needle towards their side a little bit. It gives them a little bit of an edge to maybe entice some people over to that. It's kind of like they're doing the same thing with the Xbox Game Pass. It's like, well, you know, we have Xbox Games Pass, so you can play all these games for a price, and you don't necessarily have to fill up your library like crazy. You know, it's just, we have these, so get away from Steam. We got the newest shit coming out, and it's free. Well, free, you know. I don't think Xbox would have done nearly as well if they hadn't done some sort of like exclusive thing like they're doing right now. But what's your second reason? I just
okay.
had to defend that.
The storefront is just like a singular reason, and there's a lot of reasons why the storefront sucks. For one, it doesn't have a fucking forum. Like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking not having a forum on there so people can discuss like troubleshooting issues that they're having and stuff? Like, come on, man. Epic CEO is also like notorious for like fucking hating PC gamers.
Really?
Yeah, notoriously he's like, yeah, they're all pirates and they all suck dick. Which, you know, what?
Kind of are.
Honestly,
kind of are.
You know what? Fair enough. All right. Fair enough. But
I was that at one point. I'm like, how can I get this for free? You know, like every PC gamer is like, oh, you know what? I can do this. Yeah.
I will say the Unreal Engine, pretty cool. But
seriously,
yeah, it's pretty cool. But I think like the biggest issue with Epic, and I don't think
is it just going to be it sucks.
No, I don't think this could be understated enough, and I'm like dead serious. It's owned by Tencent, or like a majority of it is owned by Tencent, which is a very notorious Chinese company that is known for just leeching money off of everything it owns and like just basically destroying everything. We've already seen it with Epic, where Epic kind of buys up different developers and like just starts to suck a lot of the money away from devs. To put it towards like Fortnite or their storefront or whatever the fuck, and we could start to see that with Fall Guys too, where they could easily just like all the money that would just be going to the guys at Fall Guys anyway. Now it's got to be distributed through Epic and the guys. But I'm sure there was a huge lump sum there that they're like, hey, we'll give you fucking $60 million right now. And they're like. Yeah,
and you can continue to do your job that you've been doing, and nothing changes. You just get a whole bunch of money. 12 people that work at Mediatonic, and you can just be millionaires now.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot to. And when I said Epic CEO, I did not mean Epic CEO. I forget who it was. It might have been like the president or something.
President, maybe.
Yeah. Tim Sweeney actually seems like an alright guy. Anyway, yeah, it's mainly that Tencent thing that I'm just like, fuck Epic.
Yeah, I get that. It sucks, dude. It's like Amazon.
Yeah.
That Tencent thing is like Amazon, where you put something up on Amazon to sell, and it's like, okay, but 20% of that of your sales goes to Amazon,
right?
And you're like, for what? What do you do? And it's that same sort of situation.
Yeah, I really don't think it affects too much, though. I actually think it was only like a matter of time before Fall Guys was bought by somebody. I'm surprised it wasn't Sony, though.
I'm really glad it wasn't EA.
Yeah, that does seem like
killed it outright.
That does seem like something EA would have bought. I'm surprised it wasn't Sony though, because Sony had that deal with them on the launch, which was probably why the game became so big to begin with.
But here's why that would have been bad, because Sony doesn't necessarily. You look at all of their third party. You look at all of their games that they have, right? Mm-hmm. They don't really keep up with that sort of thing. They don't keep up with that service. Games as service sort of situation.
You think that's why they'd want to start getting into it. That's why I think like factions like The Division would be huge for Sony, because Sony doesn't have a game like that.
Right. Yeah, it would be a really good market to tap into and just totally wreck shit with their first party, polish on a game like that. But
same with Fall Guys.
I don't think Fall Guys is that kind of game. I think the best place for Fall Guys to be, if they were to get bought out, is right where they are at Epic Games.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
It'll have that longevity of content that Epic Games is kind of known for.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Just a thought. I don't like the Tencent thing either. I don't like major capitalism. But
you know what? You won me over though. You won me over. You did it.
Podcast over.
End it.
That's the end of this. Is the last episode, guys. I beat him.
This is a rumor that came from Bloomberg. Nintendo plans Switch model with bigger Samsung OLED display. This is by Takashi Mochizuki. I'm sorry.
Hey, you did it, Mochizuki.
And Sohee Kim. Nintendo company plans to unveil a model of its Switch gaming console equipped with a bigger Samsung OLED display this year, hoping the larger touchscreen can prop up demand in time for the holidays, people familiar with the plan said. Samsung Display Company will start mass production of 7-inch 720p resolution OLED panels as early as June, with an initial monthly target of just under 1 million units, said the people, who asked not to be identified discussing internal matters. The displays are slated for shipment to assemble around July, the people said. Representatives for Nintendo and Samsung Display declined to comment. Of course they did. Yeah, that's interesting. How do you feel about that?
you know, I totally spaced out on that. Oh, it's this. We're talking about a new bigger Nintendo
Yes.
Switch. Yeah, honestly, I'm looking up PlayStation Vita stuff to just compare what like the original Vita, because the original Vita had an OLED screen in it.
It did,
and it
yeah.
was crisp and beautiful.
Nice.
But I'm not sure if it was 1080p or if it was 720.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing, is it's 720. Also, but like also, it does mention in the article, I just didn't put it here, that it plans to be 4K docked. I imagine that's like upscaled to 4K, but like, you know, that's kind of big. And honestly, like for a screen that size, 720p is fine.
It's fine.
It's totally fine. Like, I don't know.
I can't find anything on the Vita screen. PS Vita OLED resolution.
I like the idea of a bigger screen, though. I imagine what this is really going to do is just get rid of that bezel that's currently on the Switch, and maybe make it a little bit brighter. I imagine they're going to make the battery life better on it as well.
Did you also hear the rumor linked with this rumor? Which kind of, it's, I don't know where it was. I saw it on Reddit, where they're saying that it's going to be more powerful. This new version is going to be so much more powerful that only certain games will run on this new version and not the old version.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That's a Nintendo thing to do, for sure.
It's a very Nintendo thing to do.
Fuck. I hate that.
Yeah.
That's what they did with the new 3DS. If you remember when that came out.
Yeah, I do. I do remember that, because it was just better.
Yeah. And there were certain games that didn't run on the older stuff. Yeah, that's interesting. I had not heard that. But also Nintendo, that goes way back even to the N64, where you had to get like an expansion pack for your N64. Like, Nintendo's no stranger to that, so I kind of believe that.
Honestly, I am all for them making this console bigger and brighter and, you know,
more powerful.
Longer battery. I don't really care about the battery life as much, because it's, you know, it's like 4 or 5 hours and I'm good. But brighter for sure. Better pixel coverage, bigger screen. I kind of like that. It brings me back to like the Vita, and I love the Vita, and it's like you got to get that OG OLED screen, and it just looks, there's something different about looking at an OLED screen compared to like a regular LCD screen, and it's just magical comparing them side by side. And I would love to see like Monster Hunter Rise or whatever the hell's coming out, the new Zelda game. I would love to see that.
Whenever
on an OLED. Yeah, that's never coming out until 2044.
Probably.
But yeah, I'm all for it. I don't necessarily like the fact that some games, the rumor is that some games will run on the newer one and some won't. Makes sense, but I really don't like that. Just call it something else. The Switch 2, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm at the point now where I've had my Switch long enough that I'm not totally opposed to the idea of buying a new one. You know what I mean?
Because it's honestly, it's still new enough that you can sell it pretty easily to like a kid, or give it to your nephew or something as a present for Christmas.
It's a great idea.
And then you just pick up the new one for yourself because you give a shit about like screen resolution, and because you're old enough, you have the money. Like if I was a kid and I had the Game Boy Color, right? It was a pink Game Boy Color, and then the SP came out, but I couldn't afford it because it had the backlit screen, and I'm like, man, I would really love that, because we would go on car trips all the time, and driving at night, you could only see the screen when like a street light passes and you're trying to play and you'd have to stop and then you try to play again. But it's the same sort of situation. It's like, no, the kids can have the older version. I'll have the new cool,
that's true,
fancy version.
I still have I still have those Game Boy Advances, the old football, you know.
Mm-hmm. I got one of those too. It's a little sticky from probably like grape soda or something.
Yeah,
I had when I was a kid.
No idea where my SP went though, but I'm looking at Ruby and Pokemon Blue version down here. God damn.
Oh, god damn.
God damn. Yeah. Well, one more question about this though.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it'll have a glass screen?
As opposed to a plastic screen?
Yeah, because the Switch currently has a plastic screen.
Yeah, I think if you're going to use an OLED, you have to have a glass screen.
It's kind of what I'm thinking.
You lose a lot of the details, a lot of the finer, the fine lines and the reason that
I think it's the move.
That each pixel has an on-off switch in the OLED, but
the Vita had a glass screen.
It did, and it broke.
Oh yeah,
it broke a lot.
Oh yeah, it did. And yeah, to me, this seems like here's the adult one, and the kids can have the lights.
Right? Yeah, and that's kind of how it feels right now. Like they first came out with the ones that have the Joy-Cons that come out, and then they're like, for those kids that are a little too young to be like fucking with the little Joy-Cons that wiggle and shit, here's a whole Game Boy for you. You know, and it's like, that's a good idea. That's probably for the best. That way the parents aren't spending like $80 on controllers every month.
No, instead they have to buy a $200 system every time they break it.
Well, no, because like the controllers are so shit. They're so shit.
I know.
And I can't believe they haven't been like critically sued to change the patent on that, so where it's not a fucking graphite analog stick.
Oh, they have. They just have so much money, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't, I guess so. Well, yeah, because they're always in the NPD numbers at the fucking top.
Yeah,
they probably they're like, okay, well, Mario Kart's numbers are so good, we'll just use all the money we got from Mario Kart sales this month and pay off all the lawsuits. Like, okay, cool.
Yep, that's true. A lot of companies do that, actually. It's a very serious problem, actually.
Yeah. It's the problem with like capitalism.
Yeah,
it's broken.
Yep.
Trickle down economics is also broken.
Yep. Fuck you, Ronnie Reagan. Yeah, bitch
I don't
ass.
know what we'd switch it with. I'm not a fucking politician or a speaker.
I say we switch it with OnlyFans likes. And the more OnlyFans likes you have, the
more likely you are to be
profitable. You are. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. If the person with the most OnlyFans subscriptions becomes president. Until somebody else is. Yeah.
Belle Delphine is our president.
Belle Delphine 2024.
Eric Andre just made an OnlyFans though. So we could be seeing an Eric Andre presidency here in the near future.
But can we see him jumping on a workout ball with dildos strapped onto it? Probably.
I am sure if you asked him, he would happily do that. Sony PlayStation Store will end movie, TV show purchases, and rentals. As of August 31st, 2021, the PlayStation Store will stop offering movie and TV show purchases and rentals. Sony said it is exiting the transactional VOD business after more than a decade because it sees more PlayStation users adopting free and subscription streaming video services. Quote, at SIE, we strive to provide the best entertainment experience for PlayStation fans, and that means evolving our offerings as customer needs change. Vanessa Lee, Sony Interactive Entertainment's head of business, wrote in a blog post Tuesday. Quote, we've seen tremendous growth from PlayStation fans using subscription-based and ad-based entertainment streaming services on our consoles. End of quote. Yeah, that's interesting. That kind of makes me sad because I actually use this service.
Yeah.
Mainly the rentals. I rent a lot of movies on PlayStation, actually.
The rentals for sure. We saw Batman v Superman as a PlayStation rental.
I actually had to buy that. I actually own that on PlayStation.
Oh, no, you don't.
Because there was no way to rent it yet, so I actually had to buy
God.
it because I had that director's cut of
Right.
BVS. No, you're talking about Justice League. Justice League, I did rent. Yeah, I did rent that one.
Okay.
BVS, I had to buy though. It's funny because BVS is the only fucking movie I own on PlayStation. And I don't even like that movie that much, but I had to buy it.
That's funny.
It makes a lot of sense though, considering that like the same service exists on literally YouTube. You can go on YouTube and the same service exists,
or Amazon, or
which I actually use that YouTube. I've actually switched from renting on PlayStation to renting on YouTube like relatively recently, mainly because like if I'm watching at someone's house, I can rent a movie on my phone and then just screencast it to their TV. Yep. Which is a lot easier than PlayStation. And I'm sure PlayStation sees those numbers and they're like, we still have TV rentals and movie purchases, but now instead of doing it through the PlayStation Store, you do it through Amazon or you do it through YouTube. Because that stuff you can still do on PlayStation. You just don't do it through PlayStation.
You do it on the PlayStation. You just do it through the app of YouTube or the app of Hulu or whatever. I don't know if Hulu has rentals. I think they do.
I don't think so.
I don't know. But it's understandable. I always thought that like the whole renting and buying movies on PlayStation was weird anyway. Having like a digital library of owning, I won't say renting, but owning on PlayStation is kind of weird, because then you have a digital library of like movies,
but you can only watch them on your PlayStation,
or on your phone through the PlayStation app, which was terrible back then. But it just seems odd to me that it's survived this long with Netflix and Hulu and Peacock and HBO and all that stuff going on right now.
Paramount Plus.
Well, there's another one too that's just come out.
Paramount Plus is the one.
That's it. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the one with the new SpongeBob movie.
Yeah. So it makes sense, and it's sad, sort of. I
guess. But, it's sort of like I don't think anyone's really gonna miss it that much. I kind of will, just for like, it's because like sometimes while I was scrolling games, I like to scroll movies, and I'm like, hey, Mandy is like $2 to rent right now. You know that Nick Cage movie, and I'm like, oh shit, I'll rent that and I'll watch that shit. But whatever, it is what it is. Yeah,
but like, there's just so many more outlets still on the PlayStation. Like, I'm like, this may affect that picture-in-picture on the PlayStation 5, and I'm like, oh no, it won't, because I'll just open up another app and rent something from there. I'll open up the YouTube app. It doesn't matter where it's from. It's just
YouTube rentals works really well.
So it's inevitable. This thing was coming. This thing was happening anyway. That's what I have to say about that.
Well, I've got one more piece of news here, Nick.
Surprise news.
Surprise news. Mm-hmm. This comes from Jason Schreier at Bloomberg. The boy, the one, the only.
He's our in.
Harry Potter video game will allow transgender characters. And this shouldn't be a big piece of news, but it is. The next Harry Potter video game will allow players to customize their character's voice, body type, and gender placement for the school dormitories, taking a stride toward inclusivity after several recent controversies stemming from comments by series creator J.K. Rowling that were seen as transphobic. Yeah, I mean, that's sort of like the gist of it. I'm sure like everyone's sort of heard about how shitty J.K. Rowling's is when it comes to transgender representation. The real reason I want to bring this up, though, is the outrage online for them being like, yeah, you could be trans in this game. It's like, why do people care if you can be trans? I don't know why people would even get upset about it. Even if you are against trans or whatever, which you shouldn't be. But even if you were, just don't play the trans character. It makes no difference. Like,
it's not for you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's somebody out there wants it, you know. It's like you're not gonna get.
And hell, I might play the trans character, and I'm not even trans, just to like play something different, you know, like
just to be somebody else. Yeah. Like you don't get high up in arms when somebody plays the orc character in Skyrim or the cat character. It's like, no, there are no cats in my video games. It's like, what? No, let them be whatever the fuck they want to be. Like, you know, yeah, I typically play females in characters if there's a character creator. I'm not gay. I don't want to be. It's just one of those things. It's just like I like to do that. I don't like I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's like I'd like to be somebody different in video games, you know? So
basically what it is here, I'm reading a little bit further into this. Hogwarts Legacy is scheduled for a 2022 release from publisher Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment, Inc. That's a lot of words. And developer Avalanche Studios, which, God bless them, love those guys. When players start up the game, they will be able to create a character that has a masculine or feminine voice, no matter what their body looks like. So it's not even like I'm picking the trans guy. It's like I'm picking a guy, but it has a lady voice, you know, or whatever. So
they've been doing that shit since World of Warcraft, I think.
Yep.
At least just a lot of MMOs, you know, go, what pitch is your voice? And you can pick a girl who goes, or you can pick a guy that's like, you know, and it's, who the fuck cares? You don't hear anything. It's because it's Harry Potter and the creator's weird. Like, pardon my ignorance on, you know, J.K. Rowling, is that her name? But what, didn't she like come out and say like Dumbledore's gay?
Yeah.
Or something like that, like back in the day. Yeah. And now she's against it? Now she's against like gay stuff? Or
she's not against gay stuff. She has just said some pretty offhand things about transgender stuff.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Which is
it's a more focused hatred. Gotcha.
Yeah. So she is pro LGB, but it's questionable her thoughts on the T, you know?
Yeah, not quite the T or the Q.
And also, I don't know if you remember this happening. Last month, Hogwarts Legacy faced more controversy after gaming journalist Liam Robertson revealed that Troy Leavitt, a senior producer at Salt Lake City-based Avalanche, made dozens of YouTube videos attacking feminism and social justice. He also expressed support for Gamergate, a loose community of gamers who harass journalists and game developers for voicing progressive views. Yeah,
so he's an asshole.
Yeah, he's an asshole, or was an asshole. I don't know. Maybe he's changed, but like. Yeah. I don't know. It just sort of seems like they're like, yeah, we're going to allow trans characters because we're having a lot of fucking backlash right now. And let's just let people do what they want to do. Who cares? Yeah.
It's a video game where you escape reality. Is that cool with everybody? You know, like, Can we just keep video games not grounded in certain video games? Like, I understand if you're going to make a grounded World War II game, but and you're like, only men fought in World War II and women were very rare, or medics or whatever, and it's like, okay, that's fine. There's no women in this World War II game. That makes sense to me. But then you go like, in this fantasy RPG where they're griffins and lizard people and water mermaids, you have to be male and female.
Yeah.
Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. How is this okay? I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's all weird. It's just like, who gives a shit? Like,
yeah.
To me, it's a non-story. It's just like whatever.
Let gamers game, please.
Yeah, and let developers make their fucking games and do whatever. Like, God, stop being a transphobe. Like, even if you don't get it, just like sit back and not get it. You know,
like or ask. Don't be a dick. ask about it.
Ask about it, and if you don't get it, just fucking don't say anything. Like,
just sit back and go, well, are they hurting you? Are they hurting you? I don't think so.
I'm missing something. Okay, I don't get it. Move on with your life. Like, it's not worth saying anything. God. What to look forward to next week? Nothing. There's nothing. Nothing.
Zip, zilch, zero.
It is the year of Nick, though, so we will probably get some news next week.
Next week is going to be lit. We're going to get the Elden Ring trailer. We're going to get something. We're going to get the GTA remaster collection announcement. We're going to get Factions is going to be announced next week. Yeah, so something's going to happen big.
And maybe by next week, I'll be more used to my braces in my face, and I'll stop like making weird faces throughout the show. That might be nice.
Man, I didn't even notice. I've been like staring at you all day.
Yeah. Well, my camera is just shitty enough that you can't really see the braces in the camera. So that's true. That's kind of nice.
Give us a. Yeah, I can't even tell.
Can't really tell because I also got the white ones, you know.
So you didn't go for the rainbow.
I didn't go for the rainbow. I thought about it.
I'm sure you did, but then you're like, I have to keep these on for 2 years.
Yeah, pretty much. I know they change out the color. You can change out the colors like when they.
No, white's the good call because of your age. If you were like,
if I was like 14, yeah, I think I would do pink or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a question for us, Nick?
I do. What do you think the next step for? I'm just gonna say Grand Theft Auto. We're not even gonna include Red Dead at all. What do you think the next step for Grand Theft Auto is going to be? Do you agree with us that there's going to be a remaster, or do you think there's going to be an update to online, or are they just going to straight up go Grand Theft Auto 6? What do you think is going to happen? I'm really curious about that.
Yeah,
but nobody's going to answer, so it doesn't funny matter.
It doesn't funny matter.
It does not funny matter. But other than that, make sure you check out the other Loner Gamecast shows. I'll let you plug it. Jake.
Yeah, make sure you check out the other Loner Cast shows. Jake and Corey podcast every Monday, of course. You can check out this show. We're always live on Monday on twitch.tv around 3:30 Mountain Standard Time. Pacific Time, I think, as well.
Arizona time.
Arizona time. Figure it out, guys. Come on, figure it out.
We live in Arizona. It doesn't change for us, so get on our level.
Yeah, figure it out. Come on. Yeah, like sometimes we line up with Pacific time, sometimes we don't. It's weird. Also, check out me and my good buddy Austin are going to be doing a lot more like spoiler cast type videos in the near future as well. We just did one
about nerdy movies, right?
Nerdy movies. I think we're talking about maybe doing Avatar. So that might. I've never seen it. He's like obsessed with it.
The movie or the show?
We'll probably start with the show. We'll probably get to the movie in the future.
Oh God!
You know? We'll do it season by season. You know, we'll do season 1 spoiler cast, season 2 spoiler. You know, we'll do it season by season. But we'll do that.
Like that's gonna end up to be one of your favorites because it's so good.
Oh yeah,
the movie, yeah, the movie.
I think I have seen the movie. Yeah, the movie's dump. But yeah, we're gonna be doing the Snyder Cut for sure. We may pull Nick in if he wants to watch it.
No, fuck you. I will not watch that 4-hour piece of butt.
We'll definitely do Falcon and Winter Soldier when that all wraps up as well.
Maybe we'll jump in on that one.
Maybe we'll pull Nick into that. Yeah, Nick may show up to some of these. I may not show up to some of them, and it might be Nick and Austin. Who knows what the future holds for this goddamn channel. Also, check us out on Twitter. I'm at emergencypizza_. Check out Nick at fatal_microwave. And check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv/lonercast. We're doing all sorts of fun stuff like this show there. I also, I don't know, play things sometimes.
The Division 2, we're going to be doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're streaming it, but...
I haven't streamed any of it, but I could.
You could. It's an option. that's out there. Or Rocket League. We've been doing that too.
Oh, we actually got an answer to the question already.
Shit. No way. Holy damn.
All right, Atmosphere. We're going to answer your question, but off camera for the show. And then we're going to save your question and answer it again next week on the show, if that makes sense.
Okay. I like that. Yeah,
we'll do that. We'll do that.
Yeah. So we'll end the show for the YouTubes, and then we'll answer your question.
Yeah.
And then we'll... perfect.
Okay, bye, show.
Bye, everybody.